It is a tight little ground, and it's quite cosy little corner that we've got here with a couple of hundred Shots fans, probably more than that, but away to our left, and then in front of us in this little section, the end section of the stand as well, the seated Shots fans, and it's also very recognisable, the York Road for behind the goal. You've literally got etched in black and white at the back of the stand, Maidenhead United. It's quite iconic at this level of football, and that's the kindest thing I can say about York Road. Yeah, we're awaiting the teams right now, as you say. Maidenhead 4 points and 3 places above the Shots. That's where the Shots want to be looking to be clambering up to get themselves safe as soon as possible. But points have been very hard to come by of late, and Ross McNeely's squad are going to have to show some real character tonight, not just to bounce back from that FA Trophy defeat, Connor, but to take on, one of the toughest teams to take on in this league. They're just not an easy team to play against. They have a certain style under Alan Devonshire, which has been effective for several years now. Shots team news. We did it, of course, earlier on, but for those that have joined us more recently, Jake Hutchinson, Ollie Pendlebury and Henry Ocheng, all unavailable on Saturday for the FA Trophy, all come back into the starting lineup. New signing, Jack Barham from Maidstone, is on the bench, and not included in the squad tonight is Shots low knee striker Tavan Campbell. I don't have news on the reasons for that as yet. Hopefully I will at some point during the evening. But yeah, we're all set here, and of course, why would you wouldn't want to be getting reports from the Champions League, would you? You want it from York Road in the National League. That's what it's all about. Exactly. I think that line of comment was normally reserved for Accrington Stanley, isn't it? But we'll do it to Man City, and we'll get away with it because there won't be any Man City fans listening, so it's all good.
Number 7, Justin Amalazor. Number 16, Corey Johnson. Number 17, Jake Hutchinson. Number 18, Henry Ocheng.
Perfect timing, ending that preview to radio, because the teams are on their way out here at York Road. The Shots are playing in their home kit, red shirts, white shorts, blue socks, and Maidenhead, of course, the Magpies are in theirs, very much a Newcastle style or Notts County style strip, black and white stripes, black shorts, and they've got red socks on this evening. Alongside me is the inimitable, which is a very short word for one with so many syllables, Steve Gibbs. I have to find a big word when Steve's with me, just to try and get on his level for a couple of minutes. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, Mr. Worrell.
How you doing?
Yeah, very well. Looking forward to this game. I think it's the last 10 games of the season. The run-in has officially started, and hopefully Aldershot Town can get something from this to ease any lingering relegation worries. I think this, and maybe the game up at York City, maybe the 2 away games that Ross McNeely might target to get points. Then you need to start winning some home games. But tonight it's all about on your travels, and I think Aldershot Town have definitely got it within their wherewithal to get something here tonight. Of course, it'll be a very difficult game. You always know what you're going to get coming to York Road. You're going to have to match work rate and strength and desire before you can even try to play football. And then hopefully Aldershot Town have got the players that will be able to unlock sometimes a bit of a porous Maidenhead defence.
Good stuff. And by the way, Steve, you might be able to brave putting your headphones on now, because it was massively high, the noise in your ears. I've sorted that out for you now.
My hearing was being slightly assaulted.
Not quite hearing you as clearly as I'd like to at the minute, so we'll have a couple of little adjustments here if we can. I can hear you, but I'm just having to concentrate a little bit too hard to do so. Turn the mixer up round there. Right, both sides have gone into huddles, and the Shots full lineup is Ashby Hammond in goal, and this is what me and Steve think at the moment. We're going to go with 4 at the back, but we'll keep an eye on that. Kenlock, Jordan, Cordner and Minoga, and then Ocheng and Partington holding midfield, Glover and Amaluza on the wings, Pendlebury shuttle in between midfield and trying to support Jake Hutchinson. And the early indications are too difficult to tell because the shots have got kick-off, so they're slightly out of formation with Pendlebury and Glover. I think it'll be a 4, and if we see any different, we'll let you know. Right, now we don't have to compete with the PA system anymore, which always helps. Hopefully we can get the sound levels right. For one or two of you that have kindly messaged me to say that we're on air, do let us know about the sound levels. If there's any distortion or one of us is louder than the other or whatever, just let me know and we'll make some adjustments. We're underway. Guess where the ball is, listeners? Yeah. In touch, in front of Steve and I, it will be Zico Azer that will start with the throw-in. It's one in the air by Kenlock, and then there's a battle in the middle which Charlie Adams wins up to Emil Aqua, but his forward pass is cut out by Kenlock. He can't keep it in touch though, and it's a throw-in to Maidenhead on halfway. Tyler Cordner will win that, and then it's hooked away by Kenlock, only as far as Charlie Adams, who squares it across to the left-hand side, and the ball will be picked up by Ashley Nathaniel George now, who's gone straight past his man, looking to get a cross in, and it's headed away well by Corey Jordan, but he went by, I couldn't quite see, was it Minoga? Very, very easily. Here they come again to the byline, looking to pull the ball back, squared across the goal, and poked in, and Maidenhead have got a first or second minute lead here. Literally their first attack, the second phase of it, squared across by that man, Ashley Nathaniel George, who's in superb form. And Steve might be able to confirm that the opening goal for Maidenhead was scored by Emil Aqua, back in the side tonight. A tap in at the far post, Steve, and a wretched start for the shots.
It was, yeah. I think it was virtually directly on 1 minute. And Maidenhead are very, very left-sided. Everything comes down that left side with Odetsayo, the marauding fullback, and then Nathaniel George, the winger. Aldershot Town should have known that, but knowing it and stopping it are two completely different things. And then they did allow Aqua too much space for a tap in at the far post. Aldershot Town giving themselves a mountain to climb so early in the game. They've lost all 9 games when they've conceded first away from home this season. Let's hope that it's 10th time lucky.
Well, I'm afraid the stat I'm going to come back with isn't any better. When Maidenhead have taken the lead this season, 71% of the time they have not conceded an equaliser. It's a wretched start for Aldershot, but can they respond quickly from this free kick? Can you hear me okay or not? All right, okay. In comes the free kick to the far side. Cordner's picked it up and he's got it down under his feet, and he tries a little spin that doesn't quite come off, but he sends it back to Pendlebury, and Aldershot are just passing it backwards here, and they're going all the way back to Ashby Hammond. And yes, Steve, they want to see a little bit of the ball, but it was their attacking free kick. Ashby Hammond sends a huge kick out to the right-hand side. Cordner's still half up and half back. Now he thinks he better turn and go back. Ashley Nathaniel George this time is up against Pendlebury. He got in far too easily both times in the build-up to that first minute Maidenhead goal. And we'll come back to him in a minute. Glover's done well to win the ball, and Partington will feed Minoga now. But Ashley Nathaniel George, who was on trial at Aldershot at the start of the season, didn't get in, went to Torquay, played I think 1 or 2 games and then moved on, and then found his home here at Maidenhead, and he's been in goal scoring form, he's been in assisting form. Shot comes in from distance from Sam Barrett there, that's on target and easy for Ashby Hammond to save. But Ashley Nathaniel George, Steve, I know he's in good form and great confidence, but he just got in far too easily both times.
He did, absolutely, and he should have been flagged as one of Maidenhead's big danger men. So much of their play, as I said, comes down that left-hand side. He should have been double-teamed. He should have been picked up. Ryan Glover should have been detailed to drop back and cover Haji Minoga and at least try and shut him down, and not to at least create a tap-in for Aqua after barely 60 seconds.
Poor turn inside there from Ochieng, lost the ball. Shots have battled for it well and won it back. Now it's over the top, and Hutchinson almost gets onto it. But the Maidenhead player, Will de Havilland, sorry, I've been watching Barnet recently. Will de Havilland, of course, who's another ex-shot, Huntingdon lad. He's from Cambridgeshire, where I am as well, and he's played a lot of years now in the National League. And this time he gets over the top of Hutchinson, who doesn't even jump to win the header, but goes as far as Kenlock. Kenlock to Glover. Glover inside to Ochieng. Ochieng back to Glover and across to Partington. Aldershot keeping the ball, but not looking threatening at the minute. Into Pendlebury. Nice sharp control and turn. Spreads it to the right to Partington. And Partington's got Minoga ahead of him. And a good run into space from Pendlebury. He gets his cross in from the right-hand side. It's headed up and away by Alan Massey, and it finds a Maidenhead player, but it's intercepted by Pendlebury. Amaluza's got it on the edge of the area. Nice skip past 1, 2, into the penalty area. He's in. He's doing really well, and he's pulled down, and it's a penalty for the Shots. A brilliant run from Justin Amaluza. He must have dribbled past 3 players, and he invited the challenge. It came in. There's no doubt, Steve. Quick word from you. Stonewall, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Brilliant run from Justin. Was going to pull the trigger. Fouled.
Penalty here, Mel, if you want to take it live. Up to you. So we're just 5 minutes in. The Shots trail from that first minute goal. And now it's Jake Hutchinson who's going to step up and take this penalty. An early opportunity to get Aldershot back in the game. He's going to have to beat Alexis Andre Jr., who may not be famous at this level of football for his goalkeeping. He's come from Dover, but he is famous on TikTok. We think he's got so many million followers or whatever on TikTok. But right now, his job is to try and keep out Jake Hutchinson's penalty. Referee Aaron Jackson, replacement referee, makes sure everybody's outside of the area and stays that way. And Jake Hutchinson will step up in the 6th minute, right-footed, against Alexis Andre Jr. And he beats him. Andre Jr. goes to his right, and Hutchinson goes low, just to the left of the centre, as Andre Jr. would look at it. And it is, after just 6.5 minutes, Maidenhead United 1, Aldershot Town 1. Steve Gibbs.
Perfect timing for the Shots, not allowing Maidenhead to build up ahead of steam from their opening goal. Excellent penalty from Hutchinson, drove it down the middle. I think maybe Andre Jr. will feel that he could have got something on that. His trailing leg was probably only a matter of inches from it, but excellent penalty, Shots level. Now let's regroup and start the game again.
Good stuff. I still can't hear you talk through the microphones, but we'll work on that at half time. This is the radio in your ear if you want to turn it down.
No,
and that's it, yeah, exactly.
My mic is very low.
Okay. You almost distorted it so loud at my end, but if you put the headphones on, it might sound better for you. I don't know.
I mean in broadcast.
Oh, in the broadcast.
Yeah.
They're saying that you're quiet. Okay, lovely. I'll turn you up then, regardless. Right. Sorry, listeners. We're just trying to get the levels right for you, and you've missed no action. But we did have plenty in the first few minutes. I predicted a 1-1 tonight. It's going to be a long time hanging on to that, isn't it? But there's a long throw for Maidenhead, level with the right-hand side of Aldershot's penalty area, left as they defend it. It's one in the air by Cordner, bouncing around loose. Brave defending from Shots twice, and I want to give them some credit there, Steve, because there was a bit of bravery in the defending there. Twice from Aldershot players, the shot eventually went wide. I didn't quite see who got it away. We are down the other end, listeners, but Aldershot's goal stays intact at this point, since the first minute anyway.
Yeah, that was brave defending, strong defending, and I was going to predict a cagey affair this evening. That went out the window after about 59 seconds, so yeah, let's just hope for a 9-goal thriller where Aldershot Town come out on the right end of it.
Excuse me. Absolutely. Why not? Let's go more. Let's have a 6-5 a la Wrexham Dover or something like that. Most importantly, Aldershot need, in my opinion, a point or points tonight, just to really stem the downward momentum and just add to their tally again. Credit to them for responding as they did after a pretty shocking start. I mean, literally, we'll have to ask Ross McNeely afterwards if they had actually pinpointed the danger of Nathaniel George on the left-hand side. If they didn't, well, they want shooting.
Why not?
What really surprised me is Haji Minoga, such an athletic and combative defender, literally went past him like he wasn't there. Anyway, let's focus on the positives, and that is an Aldershot equaliser in the 5th minute. The foul on Justin Amaluza, and then the penalty tucked away on 6.5 eventually by Jake Hutchinson, who will be really pleased to get that goal for lots of reasons, one of them being that Aldershot have just signed another striker in Jack Barham, and obviously have Tarvin Campbell in the mix as well. And we'll have to get our spies out, maybe through Sam if we can, and find out if we know what's the score with Tarvin Campbell. Just left out the squad tonight, or? Okay. Well, we'll see what we can find out. But more pressing need at the minute for Shots is to get themselves a foothold in this game, which they've done, and now see if they can kick on. And the irony about Aldershot equalising so quickly, Steve, is that Aldershot have a horrendous record this season of conceding within minutes of scoring, and they've done it the other way round so far tonight. Hutchinson can't get hold of that. He gets a foot on it, but it drifts into touch in front of Steve and I, and a good 200, maybe 250 if we're stretching it, Shots fans. The number might well go up to 300 given those sitting around us, Steve, as well. So let's say in and around 300 overall. 301 if you count Steve. 301.5. I'm impartial, of course.
BBC impartiality, what's?
Absolutely.
It's not been in the news, has it?
Enough of that. Right, throw in. No, free kick to Aldershot on halfway. Pendlebury is going to line up and take it. Cordner's well forward. Jordan's well forward. When we get a moment, Steve, we must purr a little bit more over the winning of that penalty from Amaluza. It was brilliant. That's a poor ball, but it's so bad it turns good. Into the feet of Amaluza, who finds Tyler Cordner out on the right wing, as you'd expect him. Ball into Corey Jordan, who can't control it, but he competes well for the next header. That's only going to find Nathaniel George. Very combative challenge from Haji Minoga, who just poked the ball away from Aqua. But Maidenhead do pick up the ball again, and it's played down the right-hand side by Zico Azer. It's going to go into touch, throw in to Aldershot in the left-back position. And we'll update our radio listeners when we can with the news of those 2 goals already, one for each team. Right now we've moved on to the 13th minute, and it's a throw in to Aldershot, but Maidenhead are certainly pressing from the throw. They've got 5 players in there making sure they win the first header, as they do. Comes in Corey Jordan, then Ochieng sends it out to the right hand side, where if he gets a good first touch, Justin Amaluza can go up against the number. Well, he's eventually run out of pitch there, but he went up against the number 15, the left back for Maidenhead, Idris Odutayo. And thinking about it, on that mad first minute, I think it was Nathaniel George who breezed past Minoga the first time, but I think the second time, possibly the assist for the goal, had come from Odutayo, Steve. I don't know if you can recall it in your mind.
I can't. They were both there, and they're an excellent partnership. Marauding down that left-hand side.
He's got the slightly longer flowing hair, hasn't he?
And that's Glover and Minoga will need to be that partnership, the equal and opposite partnership in trying to stop them, which, if they didn't know before kick-off, they certainly know now what they're capable of.
Absolutely. So Hutchinson with the equaliser for Shots. We're into the 14th minute now. Minoga should stop this being a corner. He clears it forward, finds Partington, who neatly controls it, gives it to Glover. Glover sends it forward, but Shots, as they often do from set pieces, have got all players back. Partington's won it nicely though in the middle, and Glover does really well to keep it in. It's turned inside by Kenlock. Partington is keeping possession, and Aldershot trying to knock it around, but I'd rather see that kind of pass in this half of the pitch, Steve, if you get my drift. But on this occasion it works. Jordan gets it, pings it out to the left side, where Glover manages to head it on but can't keep it in play, and it remains Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1. And if you missed the first 7 minutes, well, you missed 2 goals as well, 1 for each side. Altrincham have taken the lead at York, just to rub salt in the wound after they won there at the weekend in the FA Trophy. Altrincham Gateshead, Halifax and Barnet, the 4 teams that have progressed to the semi-finals of the FA Trophy. And listeners, that's the last time I'm going to mention it tonight. Header back to Alexis Andre Jr. in goal, and he has the ball now. We're approaching the 15-minute mark, and Steve, things have settled down somewhat after that crazy start.
They have, yeah. I think Aldershot Town have been trying to play through midfield, but that incident where you described of them having to play a little bit too intricately in their defensive third, I think that's also credit that Maidenhead were pressing forward. Aqua was leading the press from the front, and Aldershot Town just didn't have the space or the opportunity. They couldn't find the angle to play through midfield as they wanted. But to go back to that penalty, Andre Jr. slices a clearing pass out of play on this near side. An excellent run from Justin Amaluzor. If you imagine Lionel Messi or Mo Salah, that close control, jinking through the penalty area in virtually no space, that to me is what it was like. It was excellent close control and as clear a penalty as you like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was even any complaints from the Maidenhead players. There's a ball down the left. I think it's going to have too much on it. It is Glover chases, can't get there behind the goal, away to our left. Goal kick to Maidenhead. And Steve, I'm going to try something here. If you want to pop that microphone down, let's see if we can get a better level on the sound effects microphone, which you won't need to hold right near.
No,
to
that's fine. The evening just got worse for the listeners. They can now hear me.
That's it. Oh, sorry, I'm turning the wrong one. Goal kick is about to be taken, and we'll keep an eye on Steve's sound levels. Next couple of comments. Work in progress here, but we're getting there. And we've been on air consistently, which is always a bonus. And we didn't miss any action, particularly those first 2 goals in the opening 7 minutes. Right, here's Massey, who's wearing the skipper's armband. He goes back to Andre Jr., who slices his clearance straight into touch. I think he might have been checking his phone for his TikTok at the time. That's much better. Thank you very much indeed from the lovely Christina. Well, you told me she's lovely anyway. Yeah, no, she is. I know you are, Christina. I'm just messing. Right, let's get back to the action here. And Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1. Shots have the ball in their own half. Corey Jordan squares it to Tyler Cordner, who thinks, as always, a little foray forward and changes them. Oh, nice step inside from Kenlock, who's lost Barrett, and then he goes back to Partington. And yeah, confirmation coming in from lots of people that that's a much better level now, Steve, for you. And hopefully my level's okay still. Right, shots in possession in their own half. Partington tries a ball straight through the middle. It's hooked away by Will de Havilland, and Maidenhead clear their lines out to the left-hand side, whereas a good header into the path of Nathaniel George, who is taken down by Haji Minoga. Now let's see if the referee Aaron Jackson is going to give Haji Minoga something he's had on 4 occasions already, or 3, and that's a first half yellow. Think he's going to get away with it, given the fact that we're just 18 minutes into the game, Steve?
Yeah, I think it was maybe a little bit of a swallow dive from Mr. Nathaniel George. Maybe helped him get away with that one.
Okay, Maidenhead have taken the free kick, and then there's wow! I think I might have seen the second foul there, Steve, because he's given a free kick to Maidenhead, but I saw the Aldershot Town player pulled down. Was that in response to? It was
a bit of a tussle. I'd say 50-50 to start with, and then for me, as you say, I think possibly Haji Minoga was pulled down, but Maidenhead have the free kick.
Good evening to Mike Winfield, who's listening in briefly this evening. Hopefully we get some more goal action at this end for you, Mike. It's a goal apiece at the moment. We're in the 19th minute here at York Road. The Magpies won, the Shots won, but a dangerous looking set piece for Maidenhead here. A free kick almost on the goal line, just outside the penalty area. It's going to be just hoisted into the penalty area nice and easily. It's going to land right in that 6-yard box, and Aldershot are going to need to be brave and get first contact if they can. Bit of a delay, the referee just having a word about some pushing. Shown 4 red cards this season in 15 games, Aaron Jackson. In comes the free kick. Oh, it's fizzed in right by the goal, and it's ended up in the goal, and I don't know how it's...
offside.
It's been disallowed. It looked like it had gone past everybody, and then maybe inadvertently hit a player not even facing the goal and went in, but that player, fortunately for Aldershot, Steve, was offside.
Yeah. Aldershot Town again found wanting in defence, just basic picking up players in the goal mouth, and then rescued by the assistant's flag. But that driven free kick from a very tight angle, almost a corner or a short corner if we're talking in hockey terms, that's another feature of their play. And if Aldershot Town aren't aware of this, then I don't know what they're doing.
Here's Haji Minoga coming down the right hand side, but he's been outsmarted by his defender there, and eventually he's nibbled away once he's lost the ball and given a free kick to Maidenhead. Needs to be a little bit careful now, Haji Minoga, because that has to be 3 free kicks given against him in 5 minutes, Steve.
Yeah, the ref will definitely be aware of him now. He'll be somewhat of a marked man, and when you're up against someone like Nathaniel George, you don't want to have a yellow card hanging over your head. And in that situation, it's almost worth a positional change or an actual personnel change to not risk going down to 10 men.
Excuse me. Thank you very much, Steve. Right, the ball's in touch. Came to nothing really for Maidenhead. Aldershot will have a throw in the right, on the right side, not really in the right back position. They're halfway inside their own half. Haji Minoga's just told to go back, and then he takes more steps forward. Partington, I think, gets the knockdown. It's lifted over the top by Pendlebury, chased by Amaluza, who's now being double marked, and it's started to rain here at York Road. The ball's cleared as far as Pendlebury. He's gone past one player and then dives in, and I think doesn't get any contact as the ball goes out of play off a Maidenhead player. So it will be a Maidenhead throw in the left back position. I didn't think there was rain due this evening, Steve, but there's a fine drizzle in the air just to add to the elements in this competition. That's a great takedown there from Tyler Cordner, who's showing no ill effects from his giving the ball away. Here's Cover cutting inside from the right, and he gets a lot of power behind his shot and an awful lot of height too. It misses the goal, it misses the stand, and I think it's even missed the house behind the stand, Steve. You could see what he was trying to do, and it just fizzed the wrong way, didn't it?
Yeah, he did the build-up really well, just jinking inside, looking dangerous. He had the goal almost opening up to him to try and place it into that far corner, and then a rush of blood to the head. He got it all wrong, and yeah, I think that's ended up in someone's front garden.
Okay, we're back underway. A good, smart positional header from Pendlebury, and Azair can only clear it as far as Glover, who's down the left-hand side now, making a little bit of progress. And now he looks for his options, and he comes backwards, and a short ball into Kenlock, who knocks it and goes. Was he impeded there? Referee thought about it but didn't blow. Azair has put it into the stand anyway. That's probably in the category of little minor contact fouls that don't get given this season, Steve. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think Barrett stuck a leg out, and in that, maybe whether he made contact or not, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I think Kenlock had to change his run, avoid that outstretched leg, so you could argue that he's a foul without actually making contact.
There's a heavy touch there from Kenlock. Partington just clips the ball into space. Nobody goes for it. Eventually Azair does, and he plays it into touch, trying to get a bit of contact off Pendlebury. And in terms of shots, performances tonight from individual players, Pendlebury looks really freshen up for this tonight, doesn't he? Obviously, and Amaluza as well. Amaluza not quite so fresh, but still up for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think having been cup side on Saturday, I think Ollie will definitely be looking to make his mark this evening.
Okay, Minoga is going to take this throw from down in front of the Aldershot fans away to our left. Yeah, left even from here. In it comes to the penalty area. It's flicked on nicely. Cordner flicks it on again, and the flag comes up for offside. But the good thing about that, Steve, Aldershot got first contact and second contact against Maidenhead of all teams, and you know, we've bemoaned set pieces all season about how poor Aldershot have been. Ironically, particularly attacking ones, they've defended much better from set pieces this season, but not really been a threat from throws, corners and kicks too much.
They haven't, no, but that certainly augurs well for the rest of the game. If they can stay on side and continue to win those first and second headers, then hopefully they can profit.
Here's Amaluza in possession. He's lost it quickly though, and Maidenhead come over halfway. And actually Nathaniel George, well, he looks to go bombing past Ochieng, and Ochieng sticks out a leg and pokes the ball into touch, but also catches a bit of the man, and Maidenhead have themselves another free kick over there on the left hand side. It's got to be the third or fourth one they've had. This one's a bit further out, but excuse me, you can rest assured that I do apologise, I've got a little bit of a cough, listeners. I'm trying to do all I can for it, but this one's a bit further out, but they will get it right into the penalty area. Barrett with the left foot, and it comes, headed away by Corey Jordan. They've got the knockdown though, and it's well intercepted by Amaluza, and then it's lost again. And Reece Smith comes forward, sends it out to the left-hand side to Nathaniel George. He'll try and make room for a cross if he can. He plays it back to Reece Smith again on the edge of the area. He's trying to make room for a shot. He tries a shot, and it fizzes past Ashby Hammond's left-hand post. And he's got form, hasn't he, recently, Reece Smith, Steve, with that absolute worldy strike here against Wrexham within the last couple of weeks, which has got to be in the contenders for goal of the season in the National League this year. It was a beauty,
I think so, yeah. It was an absolutely fantastic strike, the way he let the ball run across his body and then placed it into the top corner of the goal. It was, yeah, absolutely fantastic strike. And at the moment, Maidenhead do seem to be running through their greatest hits. Nathaniel George, Reece Smith, that driven free kick from the tightest of angles, all stuff that Aldershot Town should be aware of.
Right, de Havilland, he's got the old 50p piece on, as they used to call it, and he heads it into touch for a throw to shots taken by Kenlock into Pendlebury. Pendlebury gets it back from Kenlock and goes all the way back to Ashby Hammond. It's not been, in truth, a great game since those two goals in the first 7 minutes, but Aldershot have got a foot in the game. Glover tries a little ball round the corner. The idea was good, but it didn't come off.
No, it wasn't even what he was trying. He completely miskicked it, and then he tried to make the best of it, but unfortunately,
I'm trying to give him a bit of credit. I feel like I'm always calling him out, but anyway, we'll update our radio listeners now, and the ball's in touch, nice and timely for us to do so. Oh no, they're not coming to us yet. Oh, okay. Right, throw in then to Maidenhead. 10-15 yards inside the Aldershot Town half. Rain slanting down sideways. That's going to be a long one, I think, from Sam Barrett, as indicated by Steve. And then he sends it short to Reece Smith. His cross into the area is cut out by, couldn't see who that was back there, Pendlebury. And it'll be another corner to Maidenhead. So Aldershot have got themselves out of jail once. Let's hopefully they can stay out of jail. But Maidenhead will be thinking otherwise. The ref's blown his whistle because there's a lot of pushing and shoving in the penalty area, and a couple of big players, Aqua and one of the others, make an absolute nuisance of themselves right on the goal line with Ashby Hammond. And it's no secret the tactic, is it? It's literally, mix it up, get the ball into the right areas, get some physical presence in there, and there's so many ways the ball could end up in the net, not even necessarily off a Maidenhead player.
No, just put it under crossbar and let the chaos ensue.
Exactly that. In it comes then from Barrett, wicked left-footed ball. The referee spotted a bit more infringement and blows his whistle, and that's good. Referee's whistle comes to Shot's rescue on this occasion. He's obviously had a word with one or two in there, and then they've continued to do whatever it was they were doing. And we can only guess. If that was happening at this end, Steve, we'd have a much better idea, wouldn't we? But we are three-quarters of the way down the pitch.
I don't think it's any secret that strikers make a nuisance of themselves and maybe employ a few of the dark arts, a little bit of things that are on the borderline of the rules of association football. And in any set piece situation, the referee could give a free kick or a penalty either way. It's just whatever he sees or chooses to see.
Really good hold-up play from Hutchinson. He was really unlucky there. He was getting buffeted twice, and he complains he should have been fouled. Eventually, his pass out to the left for Glover found touch. He turned to the referee as if to say, "Can't believe you're letting go what's going on." That's a foul by Aqua, the scorer of the Maidenhead goal in the first minute. Left out on Saturday, or rested, whatever you want to call it. He's got form, he's got previous Devonshire of doing that, leaving out key players before big games against those in and around them. Free kick to Shots inside their own half. Ashby Hammond will take. And he sends it forward now, Ashby Hammond. De Havilland favourite to win it against Hutchinson, and he does. It's cleared up to halfway, where Aqua keeps it up, and Partington wins it back really well. Yeah, hi Connor. We had an action-packed start. We had a goal in the first minute. Sadly, that went against Aldershot. Maidenhead got in down the left-hand side, and Odateo, I think it was, he squared it across the goal line, and Emil Aqua was there to just literally tap it home at the far post, 3 or 4 yards out. A wretched start for the shots, but credit to them, they responded very quickly, and in just the 5th minute, Justin Amaluza went on a bit of a weaving run inside the penalty area. He beat the first 2 or 3 tackles. The 4th one, I think it was, actually impeded him, brought him down. Stonewall penalty. And Jake Hutchinson stepped up and sent the Maidenhead keeper the wrong way. So 1-1 after just 6.5, 7 minutes or so. And since then, we haven't had any further scoring. It's a pretty even game, pretty lively. I suspect there'll be more goals, Connor. But at the moment, with just over the half hour gone, it's Maidenhead 1, Aldershot 1. When we get back underway, it'll be a throw into Aldershot on the right side, halfway inside their own half by Minoga. It's taken down nicely by Hutchinson, who feeds Amaluza. And Amaluza can't get it under control, but Maidenhead poke it into touch. And it'll be another throw to the Shots, who I think in the last 5 or 10 minutes have just grown into this game a little bit, Steve.
They have, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. They've settled. Maidenhead are not looking as dangerous. I think that's one positive point. But also, Aldershot Town look to have coalesced into a team rather than a bit of the ragged bunch that they started.
Partington does well to win it, and he manages to find Hutchinson, who turns the ball around the corner to Amaluza. Is he free kicks given against Amaluza on this occasion. Very difficult to tell, Steve. The referee gave the defender the benefit of the doubt, but again, it was a promising move from the Shots, and Amaluza at times is getting the ball with only one defender on him, and that's something he'll revel in, won't he?
He will, absolutely. And Odateo is his remit, I think, is to get forward and support Nathaniel George in attack. Whether he's a centre-back by trade, really, but he's been employed as a kind of attacking fullback. So how much defensive duty he wants to do remains to be seen. So maybe getting the ball to Justin is Aldershot Town's best outlet in the same way that Maidenhead getting the ball to Nathaniel George is theirs.
Yeah, Maidenhead player's just off receiving a bit of treatment to his face at the minute. There's a long ball through. It's just kept in. And Sam Barrett manages to get a shot into the side netting. And that's, I've got to say, Steve, a bit of a relief, because I think where Sam Barrett shot from there is around about where Millie Alley shot from at the East Bank end on Saturday. I was worried as he let fly, even though I shouldn't have been, because he's virtually on the goal line.
Yeah, it was at a tight angle, maybe slightly a better angle perhaps for Sam Barrett than Ali had on Saturday, but yeah, you do wonder, the player with the left foot, the quality of Sam Barrett, you think, is he going to pull a worldie out here? But fortunately he couldn't, and it hit the right side of the net from Aldershot Town's point of view. And now Luca Ashby-Hammond is taking a goal kick.
Huge one, lands inside the half. De Havilland has to impede Hutchinson to win it. No free kick given, but Aldershot onto the knockdown. Here's De Havilland now. Pendlebury's onto the ball, holding it up. He's doing really well. He's coming across now. Flips the ball into the far post, and it's left. Hesitation. Amaluza's. Oh, how has that stayed out? Terrible hesitation between Odateo and Alexis Juna. And then Amaluza stayed interested, and I think he maybe even on his chest got some contact on it, and it came back off the post. And that's the sort of goal, for sure, Steve, that at the other end would have gone in against Aldershot.
It would. Excellent play from Ollie Pendlebury. He was being manhandled by Will de Havilland, but he still managed to float over across into that corridor of uncertainty. And certainly Odateo was pleading for Andre Jr. to come off his line. The goalkeeper was wanting the defender to deal with it. And Andre is a goalkeeper that stays on his line. He doesn't like to come out too much, and maybe doing that again, you never know. It was a matter of inches that it rebounded off the post to safety, and it could have gone anywhere. It could have fallen at Justin's feet. In the end, Odateo was able to bring it clear, looking like the coolest man in the house, which a couple of seconds earlier he definitely wasn't.
I'm intrigued that you're aware that the goalkeeper Alexis Jr. likes to stay on his line. Have you been down to Dover and watched him a few times, or? No,
I've just been frequenting YouTube rather too much and watching highlights of Maidenhead matches, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. No, that's absolutely. And you'd wonder why he's like that, because he's what is he, 6'4", something like that?
He's a big lad. You'd think he should be able to command his area. He's maybe not the stockiest goalkeeper, but he looks like he could be pretty athletic, have a good reach, including his arms, that should give him advantage over most attackers. But yeah, in recent games he has been pretty much rooted to his line.
Here's Glover coming down the left-hand side, and is he running out of pitch? No, he stays on it, but then he just loses it. It's only cleared though as far as Kenlock. Kenlock inside to Partington. Partington thinks it's an astray pass, but it wasn't. He put it there because there was space around him, and now Ochieng and Manoga, and Partington does well. He's having a much better game tonight, the shot skipper. Cordner, not the best touch there. He was already showing, wasn't he? He was going to try and get it up to Kenlock. Ashby Hammond comes a long way out of his goal and plays the ball up towards Hutchinson. Can't win it cleanly, but it's headed back by one Maidenhead player, and now lines cleared by Alan Massey. Manoga wins the header into the feet of Pendlebury. Back to Manoga. Manoga out to the right-hand side. It's a good run from Hutchinson, looking to get onto the ball. He can't quite. Maidenhead only clear it though as far as Pendlebury. Pendlebury finds Hutchinson. Good ball inside to Amaluza. It's just in front of Amaluza, and Will de Havilland clears. Amaluza holds his hand up to acknowledge it was a good ball, and he just stays down for a moment. And he's one player, Steve, that Aldershot cannot afford to lose. So let's just hope that that's just a little bit of a bang, a little bit of contact, and he's okay. He's up to his feet, thank goodness. Yeah, good.
More signs that Aldershot Town are not just growing into this game, but they're starting to find inroads through this Maidenhead defence. I think maybe they took half an hour to get to grips with it, to understand what Maidenhead do as a cross comes in and everybody is able to leave it as it drifts harmlessly behind. But Aldershot Town are, they're making inroads. They're starting to play with a bit more intelligence and understand what this game is all about, and with 10 minutes to half time they're looking like the team perhaps maybe not more likely to score the next goal, but they're certainly looking more dangerous than they did.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, I think, Steve. A few goals in the National League. Eastleigh, the kings of the 1-0 at the minute, 4 of their last 6 games. Would you believe they've got that scoreline again at Notts County? So another twist in the title race, and yet again it's Danny Whitehall. A couple more scores, but we'll just keep an eye on the play here, which is in the midfield at the moment, in possession for Maidenhead. Ball over the top is going to go straight through to Ashby Hammond. So Wealdstone 0, Chesterfield 1, and it's Solihull Moors 1, Scunthorpe 1 elsewhere in the National League this evening. I think that's all the goals. Yeah, we told you about the Altrincham goal, 1-0 up at York. Here's Pendlebury picking the ball up in midfield, lifts the ball over the top. Hutchinson chases. Massey comes over to support de Havilland and clears it into touch. Pretty unceremonious at time. They're defending, isn't it, Maidenhead? They don't worry about that. They're all about playing the averages, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and credit to them for that. You clear the ball first and you ask questions later. Too many teams, too many Aldershot Town players have been guilty of dwelling on the ball, maybe not launching it as a clearance as quickly as they could, and then paying the price. So you certainly can't blame any defender for doing that.
Manoga setting up for another long throw here. Cordner's up, Partington's up, Jordan's up. In comes the throw from the left-hand side. It's flicked across by a Maidenhead player, cleared away by a Maidenhead player, and then headed down by Ochieng, straight into the path of Reece Smith, who's coming bombing over halfway now. Out to the left-hand side, checks back on his right foot, plays it back in. That's not the best pass from Maidenhead, but they keep possession, even if they do go back to Massey. Massey across to Odatayo. And Odatayo into Kane Ferdinand, who I've not mentioned too much in the commentary tonight, but I think it was him that just went over to get that bit of treatment on his face, whatever that was. Here's Aqua holding the ball up, goes back to Charlie Adams, former Barnet player. And Odatayo lifts it over the top, looking for Sam Barrett, who tries a first-time touch to come back onto his left foot and keeps possession. He's got an overlapping run, which he ignores. Now he's going to send it in with his left foot. And Ashby Hammond takes a difficult ball, Steve, with Aqua ready to pounce on anything he spilt. Bounces just in front of him, and he dealt with it well.
He did, yeah. That could have easily evaded his grasp and to the grateful waiting feet of the Maidenhead striker. But no, he did well to hold on to it, because that was just bouncing, dipping right in front of him, and on this greasy turf, as it will be now in the drizzle, then that could have been very difficult.
Partington inside to Pendlebury and Ochieng, and now Kenlock. It's 1-1, At the moment, the shots are on track for a point. I'd say they're playing much more cohesively tonight away at Maidenhead than they managed to do at home to Halifax on Saturday. Amaluza can't win that one in the air, but the loose ball goes to Minoga, and now Minoga finds Amaluza, and he's looking to wreak havoc again. He beats one challenge, evades a second, but has to go back to Minoga. It's well cut out by Maidenhead. Charlie Adams, I think it is, doing the good work there in midfield. Throw into Aldershot on halfway. And it's Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1. We are in the 40th minute, so just over the 5, plus whatever referee Aaron Jackson adds on in this first half. The ball's in touch again. Maidenhead throw in the left-back position. And it's, I haven't really talked about the weather too much. There's a nip in the air. It's not freezing by any means, but it's sort of 3, 4, 5 degrees. Feels a bit cooler than that. And there's a fairly strong wind and a very light drizzle. Here's Amaluza. In possession, twists, turns, goes back to Partington, comes off a Maidenhead player. It'll be another throw to shots. There's no doubt that Maidenhead have realised just how significant Amaluza is, and they're trying to get more players over to him now and crowd him out a little bit. I mean, that's what they were trying to do for the penalty, weren't they, really? But there was just too many of them.
They just couldn't. But
and his footwork was just too quick and too tricky.
Yeah, but you hope if they mark Justin out of the game, that'll leave space for other players like Ryan Glover to exploit.
Yeah, and Pendlebury as well, who's popping up all over the place. Aldershot keeping possession nicely, switching it over to the left-hand side. Cordner inside his own half finds Ochieng. He turns and he's pushed over. Thinks about an early free kick, doesn't take it. Just inside the Maidenhead half. Foul was by Charlie Adams. And Cordner has a word with Pendlebury before he takes this free kick, and is waiting to see whether he's going to go up there and join the others, and he is indeed. Why wouldn't he? We like to see Cordner go forward, don't we? I mean,
we do.
We worry a little bit about what's left behind, but you know, go and score more goals than the opposition is always a good way to win a football match. Is Pendlebury stepping over the ball. Kenlock drives it into the area. It's a huge leap from Cordner. He does really well to win it. It's the ball after that Aldershot can't win, and you can see the frustration from Cordner. He couldn't have done any better there. Perfect set back into the area from his head, and Maidenhead were first to it. Here's a ball out to the left-hand side by Pendlebury for Glover, who can go one-on-one. Can he here against Zico Azair? He can. He jinks one way, then the other, and then he comes across, and he's foul given against Glover, who just lost control of the ball. And he was checking back, Stephen. By the third time, he ran out of space, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was always going to be closed down.
Do you sometimes just want to see him go for the gap, to go forward?
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
That's what it is, and he's such a trier. Yeah. He had a horrendous 20 minutes on Saturday, and I asked Ross about it afterwards, although it was off air. And he said, you know, he's been good all season. He never gives up. Yeah, he was having a bit of a stinker, but I still thought he might produce a moment, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He has got that moment in his locker, regardless of his overall play. He is one of those players that's got a touch, a trick that can open up a game.
Maidenhead play it forwards, won by Kenlock, headed back by Barrett. Partington turns it around the corner, but straight to Azair, who exchanges passes with Ferdinand. What a great tackle coming across from Pendlebury. And Ferdinand has pulled Pendlebury over with him. A little bit of petulance there from both players, but they just both get up and carry on and realise that there's only one way that's going to go if they carry on, and that's a yellow card each. There's a good headed winner from Pendlebury. Hutchinson battles well for it, doesn't win it cleanly, but finds Glover. Glover goes back to Pendlebury. Pendlebury to Kenlock. Kenlock out to Hutchinson on this left side. Tries a ball round the corner, and is put into touch by de Havilland. Gets a little bit of distance, 10 yards or so on it. But this is good, and Aldershot having a sustained good spell here, coming up towards half-time. Minute and a half to go, plus whatever's added. Can they turn it into a goal? And I'll tell you what, if they could, that would be some turnaround from the first minute. Throws taken, Kenlock to Partington. Partington back to Kenlock, and Kenlock straight into touch. Just got it all horribly wrong there. He's settled in well though. I think on Saturday he didn't have a bad game, and you know, he looks like a player that's dropping down from a league club rather than one that's trying to find his way at this level. Zico is going to take the throw in right in front of us down the line. One cleanly in the air by Glover, and then A 50-50 ball which bounces kindly for Aldershot, and Partington into the feet of Amaluz. What a back heel into the path of Pendlebury. Pendlebury's running across the pitch at the minute. Now he's heading towards the penalty area. He's holding it up. He's got 2 or 3 players on him, and he wins Aldershot the free kick. And Aldershot should, Steve, end the 45 minutes at the right end of the pitch. Obviously, we don't know how long is going to be added yet, but what a lovely... That's the time to play a back heel, Justin Amaluz, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yeah. Excellent bit of play. I think the only thing that maybe Justin was frustrated about was that Pendlebury didn't give him the immediate return. He kept possession. In the end, he's managed to get Aldershot Town a free kick in a dangerous position, but I think Justin was looking for that. He was looking to continue his run down the line and go for that 1-2 and hopefully get a crossing, but it wasn't to be. But now Aldershot Town still in a dangerous position, and there'll be 2 minutes added on.
2 added minutes. And Aldershot have got themselves a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area, on the far side, on the right side. It's literally just outside. It must have been very close to a penalty, Steve. Look where they're taking it. Just outside the penalty area, no more than a yard or 2, right on the corner of the penalty area. Who's over there? Kenlock and Pendlebury. The options for left and right footed balls. In the middle we've got Glover, Cordner, Jordan, Partington and Hutchinson. Up steps Pendlebury, drives it low, scramble, half cleared and then cleared. And unfortunately, as the ball was right in the place 6 yards out, if a Shots player had sort of read it and pounced, Partington's just saying slow it down before they take the penalty. Leave it for Haji Minoga. Sorry, not the penalty, I beg your pardon, the throw in. Sorry to get you all excited there, listeners. Aldershot have a throw, level with the edge of the penalty area. We are into the 2nd minute now of a minimum of 2 to be added on. It's 1-1 here. And Haji Minoga steps forward. In it comes, headed away by de Havilland. Back in from Partington. Cordner's up there on the edge of the penalty area. Turns, can he get a shot in left footed? He can. It's curling, but it's too high and it's too wide. And it'll be a goal kick to Maidenhead, but a good spell, a good last 10 or 15 minutes for the Shots to end the first half, Steve.
It has been, yeah. They've certainly grown into this game. They've sussed Maidenhead out. I think they're starting to ask questions of the defence, and yeah, maybe they'll feel that they've had enough. They've had a couple of half chances. Maybe they'll feel they could, not should, but maybe could be going in half time in the lead, but nonetheless it's been a promising
They
second.
might have one last attack here. Sorry, Steve. Glover's got it. Coming over halfway now. It's checking back. Finds Pendlebury. Ref's going to blow very shortly, but Pendlebury slips it to Ochieng out on the left side. Ochieng's up against his man. Can he get the ball in? No. Was it cleared behind for a corner? No. No contact. It's a goal kick to Maidenhead, and surely after this one the referee Aaron Jackson will bring the first half to a close. And one wonders how bad it might have got after that first minute goal Aldershot conceded. So I think from that point on, everybody of red and blue persuasion would have probably taken a 1-1 half-time scoreline. We're not quite there yet, but I think we will be as the ball goes up. We are indeed. Okay, so just for my producer's benefit, it is half-time. We can do an update whenever you're ready. Steve, quick word from you. I'll stop you if I have to, but your thoughts on the first half?
A nightmare start for Aldershot Town, about as bad as it could have got, both in the tactics and the result. One goal down after barely a minute, but they've come back well. They've grown into the game, started asserting themselves on this game, and deservedly level, I feel. Could have been ahead, but lots of promising signs to take into the second half, and I think lots of opportunities for them to exploit that they could go on and take at least a point and possibly 3 from this game if they get their tactics right in the second half.
A word in from Mike Brown, who says, for what it's worth, you and Steve are my favourite listeners, a commentary pairing. Ah, how lovely.
Checks in the post.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you've warmed us up. You've warmed our hearts on this cold evening at York Road. And we will still do a half-time report to radio in 5 or 6 minutes, listeners. But for now, by all means, take a little break. We'll do the same. Shots won. Maidenhead won, Shots won at half-time. A quick look at the other scores before I rest the microphone for a moment or two. Notts County 0, Eastleigh 1. So Notts County up against it. Danny Whitehall with the goal. That one's at half-time. Solihull Moors 1, Scunthorpe 1. Josh Kelly and Will Smith with the goals. Not that one. Wealdstone 0, Chesterfield 2. Paul McCallum penalty. And then another goal right on half-time has given Chesterfield a decent situation there at half-time. And York City 0, Altrincham 1. Joe Hugill, I think it's pronounced, with the goal for Altrincham in the first half at whatever the New York City ground's called. I'm looking forward to going there on the last day of the season. Steve, Bootham Crescent is no more, and it'll be a new ground, so that'll give some relevance to that last game of the season. We hope it's not a game that has any more significant relevance on it, if you get my drift.
Absolutely, yeah. We hope going to go up there with that last day of the season. The fancy dress might be out, but yeah, you don't want to go there hoping for needing points with anything riding on it for both teams. Really, you want a nice end of season. Yeah, a nice little fun day out in Yorkshire.
Yeah, and talking of points totals, we just don't know what's required, do we? And I think a lot of it is dependent on what Gateshead do with their games in hand. If they prolific in those games, if they get 4 or 6 points, then Aldershot and 3 or 4 others are very definitely back in the relegation picture. If they don't, then who knows? Another couple of wins might be enough. But we'll have to wait and see. It looks at the moment, though, as Aldershot are on track at half-time to take their points total into the 40s. Not flying into the 40s, but just touching 40. And that'll leave them 10 points from where Ross McNeely wants them to finish the season. So, yeah, that's it for me and Steve now for 10 minutes or so. You may hear me do a half-time report over the airwaves, but we'll speak to you again soon, listeners. Half-time here at York Road, Maidenhead 1, Aldershot 1.
The score, Maidenhead United 1, Aldershot Town 1. No substitutions at half-time as the Magpies attack the Bell Street end in the second half. Let's push the boys on and get behind them once again.
Welcome back, listeners, to York Road. Teams are out for the second half. Steve Gibbs and I are ready, almost ready. For the second half. The shots will be kicking off, I guess you'd say, down the slope, but it's just a bit of a weird slope, isn't it? I don't even want to try and begin to describe it. It's not a huge slope, but you can just kind of feel it as you look out there to play. I don't think it'll makes a significant difference, but Maidenhead do, of course, like Aldershot do, like to attack the end where their home supporters are. There are, of course, a healthy contingent of Shot fans behind that goal away to our left as well, but only to 1/3 of it. So 1-1 at half-time here then. Shots fan Colin Hayden in Tenerife has been watching and listening this evening. Let us know, Colin, if you're getting any replays on this one. That would be useful. Coming together there on halfway. And the free kick given, I think rightly so, to Maidenhead just inside their own half. And I didn't spot any changes there at half-time, Steve, did you?
No, I think both sides remain unchanged.
Excellent. And no changes in the commentary box either. That's because I've strapped him down, listeners. He's going nowhere. He's stuck here at York Road, just like I am. Forward comes the ball from Maidenhead. One in the air by Glover. Up towards Hutchinson, who almost brought it down, but then it went just straight past him in the end. Might have misread it. Helped on by Barrett into the feet of Aqua. Gives it back to Barrett. Aldershot do well coming back to defend, and it's Glover. And credit to him for that. come all the way back there, and he's cleared his lines, but it's gone all the way through to Andre Jr. in the Maidenhead goal. Ochieng wins a header. There's a little shove from Pendlebury, which I wondered if he'd get away with, and he hadn't. He was right in front of the referee, and it's a free kick to Maidenhead just inside the Aldershot Town half. And Charlie Adams nicks a few more yards as well, so he's just outside the D now, and he'll play it short out to the right hand side to Zico Azer. He holds the ball up, goes back to Adams, and now he'll send the ball in low. That's cleared away by Corey Jordan. Hutchinson battles for it, can't win it, and the ball should make its way all the way over to Ashley Nathaniel George on this left touchline. He can't get past Haji Minoga. Goes back, it's cleared away by Jordan up towards Pendlebury, and Pendlebury touches it back to Minoga, who lifts the ball over the top. That should be easy enough for Alan Massey to deal with. He does. Plays it back into the feet of Nathaniel George. He's just pushed off of the ball by Haji Minoga, who needs to be a little bit careful. And the referee's been fairly reluctant to get his yellow cards out so far. He has been all season, to be fair. He's only 2.5 yellows a game, 39 in 15 games. But he has shown a red 4 times. So not a lot, difficult to read into the referee from those stats. Taken short, the free kick into Adams. Adams out to the left-hand side to Nathaniel George, who'll go up against Justin Amaluza. Gets his cross in from the right foot, headed down and away by Ochieng into the feet of Hutchinson, who turns the ball around the corner, but it's not a good pass. Goes straight back to Maidenhead. Charlie Adams is going to shoot from distance. And it was just going wide. Ashby Hammond wasn't to know that. And he dived away to his right and palmed it behind for a corner. I think, Steve, as it eventually got to, it was just to the right of the post, but you can't tell in those situations.
No, I think Luca had to take a safety first approach, and I think maybe Adams, good disguise, he used Nathaniel George by not using him.
I've heard that saying somewhere before. Right, corner then to Maidenhead, right-footed, in it comes, flicked on, coming to the edge of the area, Glover with good header down, gets the ball back from Amaluza. Shots looking to counter here, and surely Minoga was pulled down, and that's quite cynical. And surely Aaron Jackson has to think here about getting his card out, and he does, and he shows it. Now I can't tell. Did he show it to Ferdinand or Nathaniel George?
They were sort of walking across
guess,
each other's path. I would have said it was Nathaniel George. I think Ferdinand was merely an accessory to the crime.
We'll have to keep an eye out on social media to see which way that one's given. Very difficult for us to tell from this angle. Yeah. But it is
nonetheless a deserved yellow card for the perpetrator, whoever it was.
Yes. First yellow card of the evening as well, I think, Steve, isn't it?
Yes.
Ashby Hammond's come forward to take the free kick, even though it is on the edge of the centre circle. And he's going to play it forward now. Coordinate will jump, and it jumps fairly, but doesn't win the ball, and Maidenhead come away with it, and it's cleared into the Aldershot half. Haji Minoga will go back to Ashby Hammond. A reminder that it's Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1, both goals coming in the opening 7 minutes. Ball out to the left, Glover leaps brilliantly, to be fair to him, and I think it skims off of his head. No, the referee says it was the Maidenhead's player, and it's a throw into Aldershot now, level with the edge of the Maidenhead penalty area. Away to our right, down at the bottom of the slope. Some good banter going on between the two sets of fans behind the goal away to our left, but the action's down at the other end now. And back it goes to Partington, to Ochieng, lifts the ball. I don't know what he's trying to do there, but it lifts over everybody, and a little bit of curl on the breeze as well, and it's nice and easy for Andre Jr. to collect. And what did you think of that, Steve? Not a lot.
It looks good from Ochieng, but unfortunately there was nobody else on the same wavelength in a red shirt.
Here's Barrett battling away with for the ball down by the Aldershot Town corner flag now with Corey Jordan, and it's a throw into Aldershot. I wondered if Jordan might have just been a bit clumsy in the back of him there, but no foul given. The ball ended up in touch, and Kenlock's getting a little bit of stick, I think, from one or two of the Maidenhead fans, but he brushes that off. He'll be used to that, I'm sure. And throws down the line. Barrett wins it in the air, though, and then Partington wins the next one, and that will find its way into touch. Steve, tactics aside, this is the sort of game you've got to get out here, batten down the hatches, tough your way through it and try and get out of here with a point or 3 somehow. It doesn't have to be pretty. It rarely will be pretty.
Exactly.
With respect to Maidenhead, it will never.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've got to roll your sleeves up. You've got to fight your way through the entire 90 minutes, match them for work rate and strength, and then hope that you'll have a moment of quality. But one of the things that Ross McNeely needs to look at, I think over half of Aldershot Town's defeats this season have been by just 1 goal. They need to start turning those narrow defeats into points, and if they can start that this evening, then I think that'll be a step in the right direction.
Big long kick from Ashby Ham was flicked on by Glover, but only to a Maidenhead player. Excuse me. And Nathaniel George is now picking it up, galloping over halfway. Now he's run up against Haji Minoga and goes backwards to Ferdinand, and Ferdinand to Odoteo, back into Nathaniel George, who twists and turns and then passes back to Ferdinand. Almost showboating though with the passes, weren't they? Both Nathaniel George and Ferdinand. A little bit of arrogance about the way they flicked the passes. Unusual to see in this division. Here's Maidenhead coming forward out to the left-hand side. Nathaniel George, left-hand side of the penalty area, back onto his right foot, back to Barrett. Barrett tries a shot. That one hits an Aldershot Town player and spins viciously behind for another corner. And Aldershot have got more defending to do, Steve. Charlie Adams coming over to take this corner with his right foot.
Yeah, it was good build-up play from Maidenhead. I think Odoteo was just trying to hold his run to stay onside. Otherwise, Nathaniel George would have played him in. But yeah, now the Aldershot Town have got to deal with another Maidenhead set piece.
In swinging, right-footed corner from Adams. It's low, headed away by Kenlock, only as far as Odoteo. Odoteo clips the ball back into the penalty area. Jordan should win that, heads it down. Ochieng, can he get a nice touch on it? No, he did. He was just impeded, but it's come back to Aldershot, to Amaluza, who's got a few players around him, and he buys the foul from Ferdinand. And meanwhile, I think the referee is had his attention diverted to something else. He's going to have a word with somebody. He's checking shirt numbers. He's just having a word, I think. Just having a word, nothing more than that, with Reece Smith. Not sure what that was about. He's also having a word with Joe Partington as well, maybe explaining what the issue is.
I think he was just, from his body language, I think he was suggesting that Reece Smith had maybe deliberately obstructed a couple of players, just to say, you can make a challenge in front of you, but you can't kind of back into a player.
Oh, it's a poor kick from Ashby Hammond, and well, Kenlock does really well to go down to ground and take it off of Aqua. Ashby Hammond was way out here on this right-hand side. It went straight to Aqua. And if Aqua hadn't had Kenlock there for company, he could have possibly tried a shot, albeit from 45, 50 yards into the empty net. I hate seeing goalkeepers take free kicks out on the touchline, Steve. I know it doesn't often result in a goal, but...
often is the operative word there. It does, far too often.
And if there's one goalkeeper right now for his confidence levels that doesn't need to do that, it's Ashby Hammond.
Yeah.
Haji Minoga bravely in, takes one full on the torso and goes into touch in front of us. It's taken the throw by Odoteo. Reece Smith skips inside. He's up against Pendlebury. Pendlebury and Haji Minoga have out-muscled it. As Haji Minoga's coming forward, he slips, and then and then Ferdinand slips and loses the ball. And then Maidenhead pick it up again. Ferdinand's still on the floor. Ashley Nathaniel George is going down the left-hand side, tries to get his cross in. It's put behind by Ochieng. And what a bizarre passage of play, Steve, where Minoga was moving forward menacingly and slipped and fell over. And then Ferdinand got the ball, slipped and fell on it. Aldershot kicked away at the ball, got it again, and then passed it to Maidenhead, who got down the left and won a corner.
Ferdinand now looks to have injured possibly his right knee. Certainly he's requiring treatment in Aldershot Town. But even, I think probably before this corner can be taken, Aldershot Town are preparing a substitution. There's somebody in a red shirt preparing to come on.
Might be Jack
I wonder, is it Mr. Barham?
I think it might be Jack Barham. I'm not 100%. We're a little bit over the other side and halfway down the pitch. We're not going to restart play too soon here because Ferdinand is still receiving treatment. And quick glance at the other scores. Still 1-1. And no change to the other scorelines in the National League. There's a couple of 0-0s we didn't even mention. Barnet and Yeovil, Bournemouth and Southend at half time. All the other games have got at least one goal in them. Shots more defending to do here, Steve, but it is Barham. Over to you for a sec.
Yeah, well, credit to the eagle eyes of Sam Carter to my right, not my ageing eyes. His fresh youthful eyes have managed to spot that it is Mr. Barham.
Don't want to worry you listeners, but we've all got bins on, so.
And also, Kane Ferdinand is up. Rather gingerly, he's walking over to this near side, but suggests that he'll be able to
carry on
for Maidenhead. Yeah,
he's ex-Woking and Maidenhead are playing Aldershot today, so he'll be back on. That's how it works. Right, finally Charlie Adams to take this corner from that bizarre passage of play. Maidenhead 1, Shots 1, corner from Adams. In it comes near post, headed away by Partington. Only as far as Adebayo. Cross is coming in. Ashby Hammond jumps, can't get clean contact. Maidenhead player ends up on the floor. Ball ends up behind the goal. And thankfully, Steve, for Ashby Hammond, the Maidenhead player jumping behind him didn't get any contact on it. Otherwise, he could have had egg on his face again. He's 6'4". He's come off his line. He's got to get something on that, and I apologise if it sounds harsh on him, but he doesn't make contact with that, and if the Maidenhead player behind him does, Aldershot 2-1 down.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Rob. If you come off your line, if you commit to getting it, you've got to get something on it. Even if it's a punch, if it's a flick, to put it out of harm's way. But he came and got nothing on it, and I think in the end the entire Aldershot defence were grateful that Massey couldn't quite get on the end of it. And that Aldershot Town substitution in the 58th minute, a straight swap in attack, a debut for Jack Barham in place of Jake Hutchinson.
So Jack Barham's career at Aldershot starts now. He's signed to the end of 25, so that's over a 2-year deal, and might just be one of the longest deals Aldershot have given out in some time, Steve.
I think it is, yeah. It's credit to Aldershot Town's desire to build for the future, and also shows their faith in Barham.
Long kick, free kick from inside his own half by Alexis Andre Jr. Aldershot win it, play it forward, and Glover's having his shirt pulled, but the referee didn't spot that by de Havilland. You could see his shirt come backwards, Steve.
Yeah, I think
and the referee's got the same. Oh, Barham, sorry.
Yeah, another diminutive player in Aldershot's attack, so makes it easier to identify, maybe not. But yeah, he's a hard-working striker, a poacher. Hopefully he'll give this Maidenhead defence something to think about.
Here's Haji Manoga trying to do exactly that, coming forward, but he's up against two Maidenhead players. He's lost it, and Fowles trying to win it back, and it'll be a free kick to Maidenhead. Yeah, all accounts on Jack Barham. Well, we know his record. He's scored a lot of goals last season. I don't know the exact number, I haven't checked it, but I think it's close to around about 30 last year for Maidstone as they won the National League South.
And he's 10 this season.
9 in the National League South, and a cup goal as well, I think, for him this season. So 40 goals in the last season and a half, or 3 quarters, whatever you want to call it. And an absolute poacher by all accounts. Formerly a Dorking player as well. And Dorking manager Mark White said he's as a striker, quite selfish, and I hear sometimes that term used as a negative, but how I've wanted Aldershot to have a really selfish striker for a long time.
Absolutely,
They haven't had one since Brett, have they? Brett Williams.
No, indeed, and yeah, Brett's much maligned, but without his goals in that first season in the National League, Aldershot Town would not have been playing nationwide football. It's as pure and simple as that. And absolutely, you want strikers to be selfish, to focus on doing what they're paid to do and find the back of the net.
Right, no more updates to radio now, listeners. Just me and Steve all the way through to the end now. The ball's in touch, throw in to Shots, and we're past the hour mark now, just by around about 18 seconds or so. And Jack Barham is on for his Aldershot Town debut. When you talk about diminutive, he really is, isn't he? That's why I thought he was Glover. He's about the same height.
Yeah.
And he's battling for possession now, as is Pendlebury. And Pendlebury comes away with it, and he's caught as well. And he just goes down clutching his lower leg just a bang, I think he's going to be all right. But Aldershot have got themselves a set piece now. It's about 10-15 yards inside the Maidenhead half, and it's also about 10-15 yards in from the touchline on the right hand side. Kenlock and Pendlebury there. Always difficult to tell who's going to take it. I think Pendlebury wants it, even though he's still a bit sore. But
I think it'll be better suited.
Yeah, Kenlock's come away from it now. 1 or 2 early runs for Aldershot, and now the cross comes in and it goes to the back where there's only Maidenhead players, which is poor from Aldershot Town's point of view. It's another poor set piece. On the different wavelength is there in terms of where he put the ball and where the players were. Maidenhead looking to counter here, and Barrett comes in and he wins a free kick on the edge of the area. Might be a yellow card as well for an Aldershot Town player here. I think that might be Minoga. Maidenhead fans are calling for a red, but I think that's standard practice. It wasn't much. I'll concede it was a free kick, Steve. I'm not even sure it was a yellow card myself, to be honest. But what do you think?
No, I think maybe it was a high foot. Barrett's gone down, but for me...
Referee's going to have a word with his assistant referee to get his take on it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No, absolutely. Get a different view.
Yeah.
Have time to think about it. For me, I think it's a free kick, yellow card at most, but probably not even that.
Might even be a change of decision here. It might even be an Aldershot kick, you know. No, yellow card is shown. And it is shown to Haji Minoga. To be fair, he was always going to go in the book with his next foul, wasn't he? Because he's given 4 or 5 free kicks away. So in that sense, I don't have any issue with the yellow card, but I never felt it was more than that, did you? No,
you wondered whether he was going to give a red as a professional foul, but I don't think it didn't deserve that at all for me.
A bit of coming together, a bit of physicality, a ball bouncing. To be honest, there are times you don't even always see a free kick for that. But right, let's get our bearings here as to where it is. It's about 3 to 4 yards at most outside the penalty area. It's, as Aldershot defend their goal, it's just to the left-hand side of the D. And I think that Mr. Barrett, Sam Barrett, is going to be favourite with his left foot here.
He is the set-piece man here at York Road. I'd be very surprised. Reece Smith is the other player over it, I think, or possibly Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams.
Yeah, I think Sam Barrett all day for me.
This is dangerous. This is position A for a left-footed player with the ability of somebody like Sam Barrett. Ashby Hammond stands 2 or 3 yards off his goal, bouncing on his toes. The shot's defensive line is level with the penalty spot. It's the perfect distance to get a ball up and down. Should be easy enough to get over the wall for Barrett. Up he steps, left-footed, and it's over the bar as well. Ashby Hammond leaps away to his left, but I'd say it was just to the left of the goal and 2 or 3 feet over the goal. And Barrett will be disappointed with that. And Aldershot relieved, Steve.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, as you said, a player of Sam Barrett's ability, that there's real quality in that left foot. That's very much far from his best effort. But certainly Aldershot Town relieved, because that could have been a heck of a lot worse, both in the foul and how the referee dealt with that, and in the free kick.
A long goal kick from Ashby Hammond. Glover rises but can't make contact. It goes straight into touch, and it's a throw into Maidenhead in the right back position. Steve, we felt Aldershot were in the ascendancy last 15 minutes of the first half. The second half we've had 20 minutes now. I'd have to say that Maidenhead look the more likely to score at the moment.
They do, yeah. I think they've come out after the break.
Be wrong.
Yeah, I think, but they have come out after the break looking more dangerous.
Here's Charlie Adams lifting a ball forward. Jordan should get there first. Not quite sure what to do with it. Ends up having to put it into touch. I don't know why he couldn't have gone back to Ashby Hammond there. Maybe he didn't get a call, and Ashby Hammond was just backtracking slightly. He was in quite an advanced position. A little bit nervy from the shot's defence, but no problem with Corey Jordan making sure to just send it into touch. Sam Barrett's going to respond with a long throw, though, into the heart of the Aldershot Town penalty area. Headed away by Glover. Up towards Barham, who flicks it on towards Amaluza, who's already got 3 Maidenhead players around him. He's probably going to commit a foul himself trying to win it back here. He doesn't, but Maidenhead come forward. Aqua it's just shoved surely in the back of Jordan. Nothing given. The ball skids viciously away and goes out for a corner. I can't believe that, Steve, but
yeah, I think maybe there was a slight nudge to put Corey off balance before he reached the ball, so maybe the referee didn't see it, and in the end, I think it was just a missed kick from Corey Jordan rather than a foul.
Corner to Maidenhead. It's 1-1 here, and we have had 66 minutes. We're in the 67th now. In it comes this time from Reece Smith. Beautiful delivery. A combination of Jordan and Ashby Hammond get it clear. Amaluza takes it on his chest. And then loses out to Nathaniel George, who's weaving his way down the left, finds Smith. He's in left-hand side of the penalty area, down by the byline. It's cut out well by Haji Minoga, but Aldershot have got another corner to defend, and the set pieces are mounting up from the side that love to score from set pieces. We've got the physicality to dominate from set pieces. It's Reece Smith now who's taking these right-footed corners rather than Charlie Adams. In it comes to the near post. Comes off of Partington. Partington feels he headed it against Massey. Referee Aaron Jackson says no, it came off you. Another corner to Maidenhead. Magpies won, Shots won. And well, if Maidenhead might think that because there are a few places and points above Aldershot, a draw would be a fair result, you wouldn't think so in their body language, because they are pushing and look the side more likely at the moment to get a second goal this evening. They're taking their time to set things up from the corner.
Yeah, I think the fans were too busy playing volleyball between themselves to actually bother to want a resumption of the match.
In comes the corner, headed away by Kenlock, headed on by Amaluza, hooked back in by Adams, headed on by Barrett. Headed away by Glover, only as far as Reece Smith on the edge of the area. He finds Adams. Adams will send it out to the left side where Nathaniel George will pick it up again and go one-on-one against Minoga, who's on a yellow. To the edge of the area, tries a shot. Oh, it's a brilliant save from Ashby Hammond. A worldie, Steve Gibbs. He's put it behind for a corner. Full stretch, one-fingered tip over the bar. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Very quick word from you.
Fantastic shot and an even better save.
Corner comes in from the left from Barrett, headed on by Cordner, I think it is. But Maidenhead looking to turn the screw here. Another cross into the area. Off of Aqua's shoulders and behind. Goal kick. And let's wax lyrical for that man who's had so much stick of late and a bit of criticism from us tonight in commentary. But that is as good a save as you will see.
It is, and Nathaniel George knew exactly what he was doing. He was cutting inside. That was going into the top corner, almost that postage stamp that you talk about in the top left hand of that goal. And Ashby Hammond, with his overreaching arm, just somehow managed to get a fingertip to it and tip it over, tip it behind. And superb save. I think when that
Amaluza
shot
at the other edge of the area, just break off, Steve. And Aldershot have lost it now. And Maidenhead should clear their lines. They do. It's blocked again by Amaluza. Haji Minoga wins the header. It comes down to Ochieng. And back to Jordan. Jordan goes back to Ashby Hammond. And he drives it out to the left side. And that's over everybody, over Glover. And I think it will go out of play unless Kenlock can get there. He makes a magnificent effort. It's a 30-40 yard run to try and get there, Kenlock, but doesn't. Maidenhead take the throw. It's cut out by Glover. Goes back to Maidenhead. They play it down the right-hand side, and Corey Jordan is over to intercept it. He's going to get shut down from Aqua. Good ball forward from him. That's headed into touch by de Havilland, and it's a little bit better from the shots.
Yeah, I think after that spell of Maidenhead pressure, they just need to take the sting out of the game, get themselves a foothold back, and trying to start inching forwards, whether it be a series of throw-ins or concerted possession, but just get themselves back into this game and steady their heads, because that would have been some pretty dangerous concerted pressure and a lot of mental strain as much as physical strain in keeping Maidenhead out.
Elsewhere, Notts County around about the hour mark have equalised against Eastleigh. So it's 1-1 there, and Chesterfield are now 3-0 up at Wealdstone. McCallum Mandeville and Andrew Dallas with, I believe, his first goal for Chesterfield. Here's Kenlock, the ball down the left side for Jack Barham to chase. Can he keep it in? Well, he does, but Will de Havilland pokes it into touch. Throw in to Aldershot. Minoga is going to take. Cordner says, hang on a minute, give us a chance if you want us in the area, just hang on. I think Minoga was, in fact, Kenlock, sorry, was ready to take it very quickly, but he said no, hold it and leave it for Haji Minoga. Shots I don't think have scored from one of his throws yet, but you never know. It's got to happen at some point. In it comes from the left-hand side. It's flicked, it's headed away by a Maidenhead player, only as far as that man Minoga. He turns it down the left-hand side. Glover takes it well onto his right foot, edge of the area, finds Partington. Will he shoot from distance? He does. It's a good one, on target. Nice and comfortable save in his mid-drip. Oh, poor clearance from the Maidenhead keeper, but somehow or other it goes underneath Amaluza and goes through to Nathaniel George anyway. We've had a few bizarre moments here tonight that you almost wonder if there's some kind of illusion going on in front of you. Here's the Maidenhead keeper again with a clearance forward. Kenlock does well, but Barrett has eventually got it under control. Goes back to Azair. He's being pressed, so goes backwards and then exchanges passes with Barrett again. Now he clips it down the line, and Cordner takes it beautifully on his thigh and just strokes it back to Ashby Hammond. Always so calm in possession. I know he had a moment on Saturday that didn't go his way, but very, very rare, very few and far between this season. Mistakes from Tyler Cordner at the back. He's probably, for me, on track for the player of the season. Would you disagree?
Yeah, no, I would definitely not disagree. No, I think he's... if
Mr. Effiong, if you'd stayed, you might have had a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think given the current squad, I think he's probably head and shoulders above most players. Justin Amaluza gets an honourable mention, but yeah, I think for me, as we come into that awards territory of the season, then yeah, I think for me there's only one name to be considered, and that's Tyler.
Here's Aldershot in possession on halfway. Partington lifts the ball forward. I'm not sure who he waved his hand in apology to, but it wasn't the person he was aiming for. He found touch anyway, and we go again. Quick check of the time. We are almost 28 minutes into the second half, so 73 minutes in, according to the maths that I was taught at school when it was called maths and not math. And Maidenhead have it on halfway. Reece Smith back to Will de Havilland, who's scampering across to the right-hand side and then clips the ball out to the right wing. I think Kenlock will win that. He does. And he knocks it down to Ocheng, who gives it back to him. And then he's shut down by Barrett, and Cordner has to clear to touch 10 yards inside the Aldershot town half. Can Aldershot show the physicality, the mentality to stay in this one to the latter stages and see if they can find themselves a winner? That's surely a foul on the Aldershot player. Nothing given though, and the ball runs free to Reece Smith. He sends it out to the right hand side to Barrett. Good tracking back from Ryan Glover. He's been brilliant defensively tonight. He's won the free kick. And I know that sounds like a bizarre statement, Steve, but as a team player, tracking back, winning headers, he's been superb. And I know that's not his position. We want more from him at the other end, but
yeah, but sometimes your wingers do have to do the dirty work, do the work that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
I will say it's unfortunate that he didn't do that from the very first whistle, because then Nathaniel George might not have been allowed to launch the attack that Maidenhead scored from after 50 odd seconds. But yeah, I think since then he has done a lot of the dirty work that he won't get credit for, that he won't.
Well, we've given
that
him
he won't
some.
want to do.
We've given him some.
Anyway,
yes,
I've just disproved my own theory. But
exactly.
it's not the work that a winger wants to be doing, but there's no doubting the value of it to the team, particularly if Aldershot do get through the final 15 or so minutes and emerge from here with at least a point.
Right, Aldershot had a throw, but they've given it away, and now Aqua's got it inside the Aldershot town half. He's paging towards goal. He's had a heavy touch. It's been cut out by Reece Smith, but now Aldershot come away with the ball with Ryan Glover. He checks back and goes all the way back to Ashby Hammond, so safety first. That's a huge clearance though from Ashby Hammond. Barham's chasing it. It's won by the head of Massey, and Aldershot have picked up the bits though. Barham's on the ball and he sends it out to Ryan Glover, who's now going one-on-one up against his man Zico Azair. He clips that into touch. Does he catch a bit of Glover as well? Probably yes, but no free kick is given, and we'll have another Haji Minoga long throw, Steve. This one only about 5 or 10 yards from the Maidenhead goal line.
Yeah, not quite as good as a corner, but not far short, the way that Haji's been launching it into the near post. And yeah, in the last few minutes, maybe Aldershot Town are starting to reassert themselves, maybe similar to the first half. They're coming strong as we get towards the end.
In comes the long throws, headed away by Barrett, back to Minoga, takes it down, clips the ball in, header there, corner. Was there a deflection? No, it's gone over the bar, so it must have gone straight over from Tyler Cordner there.
1,143. 1143. Thank you.
I don't think that could be any clearer, listeners, could it? But I will repeat it just in case. 1,143. And no number given for the Shots fans, but Steve, are we going to concur on around about 300?
I think so, yeah, given the healthy contingent in the seats in front of us, and then on the angled, the corner terrace just away to our left and behind the goal is, it's healthy.
Here's Glover, picking up a loose ball from Maidenhead in midfield, comes over halfway, clips the ball over the top, Amaluzer's onto it. It's not a bad first touch, but good positioning from the Maidenhead defender, and it's cleared to touch, and I think they've also played it off of Amaluzer as well, so it's really good defending from Maidenhead there. Good ball from Glover over the top, and not a bad first touch from Amaluzer, but credit to the Maidenhead defender who's coming over to cover for his team.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad touch, but it was just a fraction too heavy. He needed to control it dead and get it under control immediately, but it just allowed the Maidenhead defender to step in and make the clearance.
Maidenhead coming away with a 50-50 here on halfway after the Nathaniel George, and he plays that off of Nathaniel George. Well done there. Was it Minoga or Ochieng?
It was Ochieng.
Ochieng, sorry. Thrown to Aldershot on halfway. Goals in 3 other games here. York City 1, Altrincham 1. Boreham would have taken the lead against Southend, who lost 1-0 at Wrexham earlier in the week, last weekend, and they're 1-0 down to Boreham Wood now, and Aldershot go there on Saturday. Barnet 2, Yeovil 0, and Notts County 2, Eastleigh 1. The title race is back on. Here's Kenlock on the left side for Shots, feeding Glover. Glover, it ball into the area. Oh, it's not a bad ball, but it was behind Barham and ahead of any other players. Aldershot go again. They have to leave it because Glover's in an offside position, and Maidenhead clear to touch. Credit to Glover, he did all he could do. He just put the ball into the 6-yard box in the dangerous place, and sadly, Steve, no one was there apart from Barham. There were players around, but not at that precise point.
No, I think Barham had made an angled run to the near post, and the ball was just behind him, but you'd hope that sort of thing will come as the players get to know each other and they get on the same wavelength, but definitely a good ball from Ryan.
Oh, Haji Minoga's turned that ball from corner into a good one. Feeds Pendlebury to Amaluzer. Again, I think they've recognised Maidenhead that the way to play against Amaluzer is to get the ball off him quickly, because he can really devastate you as he did for that penalty. Maidenhead clear again to touch, and it's the Shots who are putting a little bit of pressure on here. Haji Minoga's got the ball. Are they going to set up for a long throw again? They are. They're going to keep trying it. Jordan and Cordner go forward again, and at some point Aldershot have to score from one of these long throws. If Wrexham can do it 10-15 times a season, why can't Aldershot? Here it comes from Minoga. It's headed on by a Shots player. Turned towards goal, comes back out. I think it was Barham who swung and turned it towards goal, but it was blocked. It came back to him, and then he couldn't get a shot away. So his first opportunity in the red and blue of Aldershot Town. Here's Kenlock coming forward, plays the ball down the middle, goes past. And what a waste was the cry from in front of us, and that sums it up pretty well.
It does, yeah, unfortunately. Maybe we should pass the microphone over, but yeah, I think it was nothing more than maybe not even a half chance for Jack Barham. He had a swing, didn't connect with it cleanly. I think made as much of a connection with his standing leg as his shooting foot, but yeah, the upshot was not much at all.
Ball into Reece Smith in the final third. Emil Aqua picks it up down by the corner flag. He's going up against Kenlock. Kenlock not showing him any daylight there, and then Glover does really well again and plays it off of Barrett into touch. And I never ever thought that Ryan Glover would potentially be in the mix for an Aldershot man of the match for his defensive work, but I think we're going to give him lots of credit for that. Whether or not he'll get Steve Gibbs man of the match, I don't know. Amaluzer, of course, bright in the first half, winning that penalty. And one or two other new faces settling in well. We'll see where he goes with that decision in a bit. Here's Partington lifting the ball over the top. And is there a slip? Amaluzer's onto it in the edge of his area. Can he try a shot? He does, and it's blocked. they're so worried about him. In actual fact there, Odatayu really hesitated and allowed Amaluza back into it, but he could never quite get a clear shot at goal. And credit to other Maidenhead defenders who came to Odatayu's rescue. The ball's in touch again. It'll be another Aldershot throw. It'll be another Haji Minoga long throw. In it comes. Jordan jumps. It's headed away by a Maidenhead player. A poor clearance by the next Maidenhead player. Partington's got it. Goes back to Haji Minoga. He strokes a ball into the area. That's headed away to the far side of the area where Tyler Cordner picks it up. He tries a little turn that doesn't come off. And Aqua picks the ball up and switches on the afterburners down the right-hand side. Oh, what a challenge that is from Ollie Pendlebury to slow up Aqua and win the ball. And he's eventually, I think, caught contact with the man, has he? No, nothing given. Maidenhead continue down the right-hand side. Reece Smith to the byline, looking to get his cross in. I think it's going to go over everybody, and Haji Minoga takes no chances and heads it behind for a corner. And after a decent spell of territory and possession at the other end, now the shots have got defending to do, and we've got just over 8 minutes left, Steve.
Yeah, it was. I think in the end it was, unfortunately, a free kick was given against Ollie Pendlebury, which Maidenhead took really quickly.
Really quickly, yeah.
Excellent tracking back and tackle from him.
Okay, we've got another different corner taker. In it comes right-footed, headed away by Corey Jordan. That particular time the corner was taken by Nathaniel George, who's got the ball back now on the left touchline. Manages to find Odatayu, goes for the return. It's a good play, and it's up in the air and over and off the bar, and then forced. Oh, there's a scramble on the area, and the Maidenhead fans appeal a goal. What's the referee given? Nothing. He said play on. It might well have been over. We'll never see. It was a hell of a scramble. But that's a terrible challenge on Justin Amaluza by the Maidenhead number 24. He's just stopped Amaluza sprinting away down the right-hand side. And it's Alan Massey who's got himself a yellow card there, shown quickly by the referee, Steve.
Yeah, there was only one winner in that foot race, and it wasn't going to be Alan Massey, who knew exactly what he was doing. He stopped Justin Amaluza as he skipped over the halfway line, took a yellow card for the team. Now we'll have a chance to throw another ball into the box, but for me, there was an almighty scramble. That Nathaniel George shot hit a Maidenhead player. That's what stopped it going in. Then there was an almighty scramble at the far post. For me,
I'm always honest.
I think the Maidenhead fans were right to celebrate. For me, that's over the line.
And I'm going to agree with you as well. I'm always honest, and my gut feeling is that ball, as Ashby Hammond picked it up at the last moment, was just over the line. The referee and linesman would have been very obscured, but here's Aldershot at the other end with Kenlock sending the ball into the air. It's knocked down by a Maidenhead player, flicked over his head by Smith. Ochieng heads it towards touch. Glover does really well again to play it off a Maidenhead player and into touch, so Aldershot get the throw, not Maidenhead. Well, Aldershot have been moaned their luck at times this season. They've certainly scrapped well in this game since that horrendous first minute start, but Steve and I concur that we think in that scramble the ball was just, and not a lot, and then you get into the realms of was the whole of the ball over the line and all that, but some part of the ball, if not all of it, was over the line. And I don't think either the referee or the assistant referee had a good enough view to be able to confirm it. And with no goal line technology at the National League level, it's not been given. Can Aldershot make that count? That has to be offside, not given, and a throw to Maidenhead, level with the edge of the Aldershot town penalty area. The defenders are up from the back. Barrett will take. It's a repeat, isn't it? Long throw at one end from the right, long throw from the other end from the right. Maidenhead now, their players, to be fair, got on with it and didn't complain too long and hard, did they? I mean, I don't think many people would have had a very good view of that.
No, I think we were lucky that we probably had the best angle to see it.
Yeah, Reece Smith gives it back to Barrett from the throw. Barrett back to Smith. Ball comes in, missed by a couple of people, cleared away by Tyler Cordner. Taken down by Odatayu on the chest. Pass out to the left-hand side where he finds Nathaniel George. He's going one-on-one against Amaluza, who almost sniffs an opportunity to take the ball, but Nathaniel George recovers well. Odatayu with a long ball in. Cordner heads that one away, but it goes straight to Reece Smith, who plays it out to the right-hand side to Sam Barrett. We've got less than 5 minutes left now. Here's a shot from Charlie Adams, takes a wicked deflection and ends up in the grateful clutches of Ashby Hammond, who carries the ball to the edge of his area, thinks about an early ball out. Aldershot might just want to catch their breath here. And Ashby Hammond does so, and I want to catch mine, so over to you, Steve.
Yeah, final 5 minutes and whatever stoppage time to be added on, but you sense that maybe this game isn't done yet, but I think maybe 1-1 would have been on many people's coupons this evening, but probably not in the way that the game has panned out, that both goals would come in, metaphorical coupons, of course, but yeah, people wouldn't have had 2 goals in the opening 5-6 minutes, and then both teams going at it for the remaining 84, 85, but that's what we've got. But you do wonder, given the way both teams have played, is there another twist in this one yet?
Well, you set it up nicely, Steve. Here's Ashby Hammond kicking from his goal. Another huge one out to the left-hand side. It's headed down by a Maidenhead player and collected by a Maidenhead player, and then goes back to Odeteo. Partington wins a header. Taken down by the chest of Massey, or was it de Havilland, I beg your pardon. And now Cordner's got it at the other end. Thinks about letting it run into touch. Swings back the other way. Now plays it back to Ashby Hammond. Another huge kick from Ashby Hammond. If only Aldershot could get on the end of them, Steve. And now Minoga and Nathaniel George in a good battle. And Minoga had to win that. He's on a yellow. We're going to see another substitution. And Ryan Glover has given his absolute all this evening. Steve, over to you. He's going to be replaced by
Tyler Frost.
Number 8, Tyler Frost, who'll bring a lot of energy to these latter stages, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he made a real difference when he came on at half-time on Saturday. He was very nearly scored even quicker at the start of the second half on Saturday, as Maidenhead did at the start of the game this evening. But yeah, I think Ryan has been diligent, hard-working. I think he's been really honest and hard-working for the team. Whether he's man of the match or not, remains to be seen. But
you're keeping your powder dry.
I am. I haven't even made the decision yet. I'm not even teasing people.
No, we're not even into added time yet. No. Anything can happen in this
he's been excellent for the team this evening, Ryan.
Absolutely. Reece Smith does really well there, and he tries to find his teammate who misses it, and I think might have just cramped up as well. Isiko is there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's limping.
Just hobbling a little bit. Yeah. Not humping, hobbling. Ball's in touch. It's a throw to Maidenhead. It's 10 yards inside their own half. Ross McNeely's not too happy about that. Might want to pick his battles though. And Sam Barrett has come all the way back to take it, even though it's in Maidenhead's own half. And here's why. He propels it a long way forward. Great jump from Partington to get in front of Aqua. Comes back. Cultured ball forward. Cordner can only head it up in the air. Hadji heads it clear. It's come. Maidenhead stroked it out to their left, and Amaluza stuck out a leg and won it. And he tries a ball all through the middle now, which almost comes off. Maidenhead clearing it only as far as Hadji Minoga. Minoga down the line to Amaluza in a little bit of space. It's poked into touch by Kane Ferdinand, and the clock ticks on. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds until we find out how much added time there will be. It's still Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1 here at York Road. Pendlebury holding it up back to Minoga. Minoga looks for Pendlebury again. It's tight there, but Minoga gets it back from him again. Turns back one way, then the other. Loses the ball, wins it back. Tries to shrug off his man. Little clipped ball into Pendlebury. Pendlebury tries to get a ball into the box, and it's gone behind for a corner to the Shots. And you can hear the Shots fans around us encouraged here. The Shots 1-0 down after a minute, level after 7. And that's how it's stayed until now. We've got 30 seconds left of added time. We're going to see shortly how much time is going to be added as the fourth official is programming the numbers into his board as we speak. Is that a 4 I can see, Steve? In comes the corner to the far post, where it's caught cleanly by Alexis Andre Jr. And he looks to clear his lines, and he's impeded from doing so by an Aldershot Town player. So the referee sprints after Tyler Cordner to show him a yellow card. I'm not quite sure why he needed to do that so dramatically.
No, it was very dramatic. It was, you were right, it's 4 additional minutes. We're 15 seconds into added time now, so 3 3/4 minutes for one of these teams to perhaps find a winner.
a game that started so dramatically. Maidenhead scoring right on the 1 minute mark, shots level after 7. And now we're into the 91st. Reece Smith coming down the right hand side, pulls the ball back. It's cleared away by Corey Jordan, only as far as a Maidenhead player who heads it down to Adams. Adams' ball forward is one in the air by Ochieng, and Pendlebury manages to find Amaluza, who continues to trick and turn and plays a poor ball on this occasion, and it's cut out by Odeteu. And it was a lovely bit of play from Amaluza, but then he got the pass wrong, and Nathaniel George squares it. Jordan clears, and he would have hoped and wanted that it would go out for a throw, but it's got backspin on it and it's gone nowhere at the moment. And Odeteu's battling, and it's cut out by Partington. He clips it forward. Ferdinand will head it back to Nathaniel George. Partington wins it again, gets a wall pass from Pendlebury and plays the ball down to Barham on the right side. Barham up against Massey has just pulled Barham down, and the referee points and gives nothing. And he's on a yellow card, Steve, and that is outrageous. He literally pulled both hands on the back of Barham's shirt to stop him getting away. And the referee, frankly, has seen that and bottled it. That's my opinion.
No, I think you're right. It did look like there was hands on Jack Barham, the back of Jack Barham's shirt. And when Massey's already on a yellow, that should be a second yellow.
Another good win from Partington. Going to ground is Pendlebury. Aldershot have it there. Oh, and that's barged off. Is that a free kick to shots? It is. Central. Just outside the centre circle, and the shots, like they did in the first half, are finishing the second half strongly. We've had 2 minutes of a minimum of 4 to be added on. Aldershot Town, if you're ever going to score, this would be such a good time.
It would, and it would be a hugely valuable 3 points, maybe 2 more than perhaps they had planned for.
Especially after a minute.
Yeah.
But it is 1-1. Let's not get carried away here. Here's Kenlock. He's going to clip the ball in right-footed to the area, and they're battling for it. And Maidenhead should clear their lines here. Partington tries to block. Minoga can't get there in front of Nathaniel George, and there might be a possible break on for Maidenhead. Charlie Adams just stops going one way though, and then channels it out to the left-hand side, where once again Odeteu and Nathaniel George are going to team up as a pair. Nathaniel George cuts inside. He's run out of options at the minute. He's gone to Ferdinand. Ferdinand plays it to Odeteu. In comes the cross, headed away brilliantly by Corey Jordan, but it is only as far as de Havilland. De Havilland feeds Ferdinand, and we are into the final minute to be added here. Nathaniel George tries to clip his cross into the far side. It's over everybody. Barrett battling away, holds it up. He's inside the penalty area, goes out to the right, clipped cross to the far post, headed away by Minoga, only as far as Charlie Adams, blocked by Corey Jordan, who scored a couple of own goals this season, but yet again threw his body in front of that one. He gets a high five and an embrace from corner and from Ashby Hammond, and Haji Minoga's down on the floor. I don't know whether he's cramping, whether he's pulled a hamstring or what he's done, but he's tirelessly run and worked, and he's had to manage the game on a yellow card again, Steve.
Yes, he has. He's done really well, considering he picked up a yellow card up against the game's, probably the game's most influential player, or the game's pivotal figure perhaps in Ashley, Nathaniel George. It probably is cramp, I'm not quite sure, but he does require a little bit of treatment of some sort.
Mike Brown.
I think Joe Partington is telling the bench that he's okay. But yeah, that should be it. We're now into added time, at the end of added time.
Oh, you've stolen my line there. So very Gav Dennison. So very Gav Dennison. Mike Brown says, coupon, you'll be mentioning luncheon vouchers next, Steve.
I'm not that old.
Notts County 3, Eastleigh 1, guess who? Macaulay Langstaff.
Of course.
You don't have to guess, I knew you were going to say it. Barnet 2, Yeovil 1 as well, by the way. We'll round up those scores once we've finished here. I suspect 1 or 2 people on the Maidenhead side of things might think that Haji Minoga's trying something on here, but everything we know about the man is there's no way he's sitting on the floor there out of choice. We are pretty close. It'd be interesting to see what the referee adds. There was the best part of a minute left. Haji Minoga limps off. Let's hope it's nothing more than a bit of cramp, or maybe even a pulled calf or something like that. So it might be doubtful for Saturday. And Aldershot are going to bring on Michael Class for the remaining seconds of this game. They, for me, have been well worthy of a point that they are a matter of seconds, not minutes, away from getting now. But it's never over till it's over. Partington lifts it forward, headed away by de Havilland, only as far as Ochieng. Gives it to Amaluza, who gives a give and go with, he's going to keep it in as well, with Frost. One-on-one he's going to go. Is he going to come back to Frost? Yes, he is. Frost should be able to clip a ball into the penalty area here. He does. It's headed away by a Maidenhead player. Frost might pick it up on the edge of the area, though. No, he can't. And I think it's Charlie Adams back there. Exchanges passes with Odeteo. Sends it forward. And there is the final whistle. And on the one occasion, they didn't ask me on the radio what my goal-scoring prediction was. It was 1-1. But there you go. Steve, wrap that one up for us and give us your Aldershot Town man of the match.
Yeah, I think an excellent point, a battling point for the shots. Looked unlikely after 60 seconds, but I think they came back into it strongly. Had periods of pressure themselves. Could have won it. Easily could have lost it as well. So you say probably a point is about a fair result, but it'll be Aldershot Town that I think go away from York Road this evening. Probably the happier of the two sides. And I think it probably was, like you, I think a draw would have probably been my prediction this evening, and sets Aldershot Town still on that course to reach 50 points that they need. I think 50 points would see them safe by a margin of about 5 points. So there is not much margin for error, if any at all. But yeah, I think a battling performance, and if you can come to Maidenhead on a cold Tuesday night and do it, then you're probably not doing much wrong. So I think Aldershot Town have battled well here this evening, and taken a hard-won, deserved point away from them. And I think man of the match, Ryan Glover, honourable. Justin Amaluzor, honourable. I think for his work rate, his quality, the dirty work that he did, the unsung work, I think I'm going to give it to Oliver Pendlebury.
Yeah, very good. I certainly don't disagree with that, Steve. It doesn't matter if I do anyway. But yeah, those are the players of note this evening for the shots. And a little word too for Mr. Luca Ashby Hammond, who at 1-1 made a save which I implore you to see when the highlights come out of this game. I don't know what angle they were filmed from, but if they were, well, that's a shame. I mean, it may not quite look as good from that side, I don't know, but from here it was going in the top corner, it was flying in the top corner, and it was fingertips. I mean, I wouldn't even say just one hand, one or two fingers of one hand that managed to deflect it over. So well done, Luca Ashby Hammond. And well done, Aldershot, for a performance of grit and determination and character this evening, especially after going 1-0 down after a minute. Well worthy of a point. Do you agree, Ian White? Thank you very much. That's enough from you. That's Ian White. He's only supported Aldershot since 1947. Great to see you. Take care, Ian. All the best, mate. Stick that point in your pocket. Look after it. Take it home safely. Right, final scores in the National League. Barnet 2, Yeovil 1, still playing. Borehamwood 1, Southend 0. That's 90 plus 6. And Southend could be heading for back-to-back 1-0 defeats before they play the mighty Aldershot Town at Roots Hall on Saturday. Maidenhead 1, Aldershot Town 1, apparently. Notts County 3, Eastleigh 1, 2 for Rodriguez, 1 for Langstaff. Yet again, Notts County find a way to come from behind. Solihull Moors 3, Scunthorpe 1. That's just about curtains now, isn't it, for Scunthorpe United? Josh Kelly with 2 goals there, thriving on the fact that he's back in the side now. Andrew Dallas has gone, and Dallas himself was on the score sheet tonight for Chesterfield, along with McCallum, Mandeville and Coldclough. They won 4-0 at Wealdstone. And it's York City 1, Altrincham 2. Altrincham yet again go to York and win. James Jones with an 83rd minute winner. As for the league table, Steve, of course, Gateshead in the 4th bottom position didn't have a game tonight, so Aldershot's point extends their gap to safety to 7 points. They move up a place as well to 17th because York City lost at home to Altrincham, and Yeovil also drop a place as well without playing this evening. Reading up from the bottom, Maidstone 24 points, pretty much gone. Scunthorpe 30 and Torquay 30. Scunthorpe have played an extra game there. Gateshead 33, but a couple of games in hand. And Dorking 37, Yeovil 37, York 39, Aldershot 40, And Steve Ross has got another point towards his total of 50. I suspect they're going to dribble and kind of slide and scramble their way there, but hopefully they'll get there.
Yeah, no, I think so. Looking at the relative run-ins of the bottom 7 this afternoon, I think Aldershot Town will have enough. As I said, I expect them to get to 50 points and stay in 18th place. And for me, the team in 4th bottom will have 45. So yes, Aldershot Town will
Anyone
retain
think
their
Steve
National
sat
League
at home and
status.
did a calculation earlier today?
Yeah, I did.
You did, didn't you?
I did the work, and I'm going to use it.
Absolutely. Why not? Otherwise, it'd be a complete waste of time.
The teams in the bottom 3 places currently will go down. For me, along with Yeovil, we shall see. Aldershot Town will be in 18th place with 50 points.
There you go. Relax, Shots fans, wherever you are around the country, around the world. You heard it from Mr. Gibbs, and he should know. He's been watching this team long enough.
Not as long as Mr. White.
Not as long as Mr. White.
But
we worked it out earlier, didn't we? It was 1947 for Ian White, 1977 for me, and for you?
1987. So I'm a relative youngster.
You're a young pup, Steve Gibbs.
Indeed, yes.
And on that thought, listeners, we're going to leave you. We're going to pack up the equipment, get some post-match from Ross McNeely and possibly one of the Shots players. You may see one of those go out on Twitter later on tonight at BBC Surrey Sport. Thanks for joining me and Steve Gibbs for the evening. Final score here from York Road. Maidenhead United 1, Aldershot Town 1.